All right, my friends, so we're going to take some time now to go over why you should open a Roth IRA. And do a bunch of probably shorter term tutorials on this, just revisiting my book, The Tax Bomb in Your Retirement Accounts. And I've done this a number of times, a couple times, I guess, but this time we're going to use the whiteboard. I don't think I had the whiteboard like I have now when I did my first tutorials on this. And so I'll give you a bunch of reasons, all right, why you should open a Roth. Please, for the love of all that is good, open a Roth. And we'll revisit some of this, and I'll put the link to my book in the show notes. Today we're going to talk about reason number one, and I think we'll probably do 21 reasons. I think, I can't remember. And we'll do a bunch of reasons why you should open one, 10, 15, 20, I can't remember. But there's a bunch, and we'll start with one here today and just go one by one by one. So don't forget to subscribe down below. As always, comments, thumbs up, share the video without question. The more you share it, the more other people get it, and hopefully the better off they'll be financially. Not saying that old Josh has all the answers. I don't. But with you and me combined, we can come together with some pretty good ideas here on how to create a better retirement plan for you and loved ones and get the monkey off your back called that crappy old job. All right, so rule number one on a Roth IRA. In 2019, you can put up to $6,000 in. This is a contributory Roth IRA, not a conversion. So let me explain the difference. Contributory is I got money in my checking account or savings account or something like that, and I just donate it to my Roth. I'm donating it because I get no, well, it's not really, I'm contributing. Donating is not the right word. I get no tax deduction. There's nothing. No tax write-off, no nothing. I'm putting money from my checking savings account and I'm giving it to my Roth. And it doesn't affect me at all on the tax on my 1040. I get no write-off, no above-the-line write-off, no itemization. It is completely a non-event in terms of my current taxes today. That's a contributory Roth IRA. I'm putting money in directly from my checking or savings account. You can do $6,000 now in 2019. If you're over 50 or over 49, you can do an extra $1,000. So if you're 50 or above, you can do $7,000 per person, by the way. So you are married. Another reason to get married. You are married and you don't work. Your wife is married to you, and she does work. As long as she makes over $14,000 of earned income, you all can put $14,000 into your Roth IRA if you're over the age of 49 as a contribution. All right, so just keep that in mind. Wife works, you don't. As long as she makes over the amount you put in terms of your contributions, you can do that even if you don't work. And the same goes the other way around as well. Now there are income limits, and I think like $200,000. I don't know off the top of my head. So if you make more than a certain amount, you can't do it. The vast majority of us don't, so it's not an issue. So we can make a contribution of $7,000 per person if we're 50 years old or above, or $6,000 per person if we're under the age of 50, again, assuming we don't make $200,000. And I'm going to assume that for now on. So if you just followed this halfway through and you're like, whoa, you can't do it, you're Bill Gates. I've already talked about that. All right, so what happens now? We're going to say Joe put $5,000 of a contribution into his Roth. We'll say he did it at the beginning of this year. And this is why it's important, why I wanted to do this series in January, maybe even lead into February, because I get a question a lot, should I do it now or wait? No, do it now. I mean, just do it now and be done with it. Because essentially what happens in the market, historically, the market goes up more than it goes down. And you're literally betting the odds are on your favor historically now. Now, I have no clue going forward, but if I have $5,000 and I put it in a Roth today and it grows to $7,500 a year from now, and that's not likely, but certainly could happen, that's a $2,500 tax-free earnings that I have that I would not have had if I put this in at December 31st, or if I did it month by month. If you got the money, just dump it in there. Be done with it. Now, here's the reason why you want to do it anyway. All right, so going back to this example, I put $5,000 in. It's now worth $7,500. It doesn't matter when, where, how it has grown. It doesn't matter if that happened in one day, in 10 years. It does not matter. It does not matter my age. It does not matter anything. All that matters is I put $5,000 in, and I got $7,500 to show for it. Now it comes around and I say, oh man, I got sports that I got paid for my kids. I cannot believe how much it costs to get my kids in various school activities and sports. It's freaking nuts. Yeah, we're dealing with that right now. Anyway, all right, so I got sports. I don't have any cash on the side because I put it in my Roth. What can I do? Or I gotta put braces on my kids. That's even a better example. I can't tell you how much I'm keeping these dentists in employ because of braces. So I'm dealing with all this stuff, all right? So I got $5,000 what I started with, and right now it's worth $7,500. I'm 48 years old. We'll just say it's old Josh. Forget Joe, it's old Josh. I put $5,000 in, and I need $5,000 for braces. What can I do? I can take that $5,000 out, and I can literally do whatever I want with it. We'll just say braces. All right, and what do I have left in my Roth? Well, let's go back to it. I have left in my Roth $2,500. All right, I can't touch that without penalty or taxes, but I can touch this amount here. For whatever I want, I can take that money out. Don't need a 5-year rule. This is not applicable to the 5-year rule. Everyone makes this mistake. They say, you got to wait 5 years before you can tap your contributions. No, you don't. You don't have to wait 5 years. I was just reading an article, which I did a video on the other day, about the withdrawal option, early withdrawal options of the Roth, and the lady who had written the article, Emily Brandell. I like her. I like what she writes, but she didn't. You don't need to wait 5 years to get your contributions. That's why number one rule why you should open a Roth. Number one is because you have access to your contributions at any time. They're non-deductible. That means you got no write-off on the front end. That means the IRS does not care what happened. Do you want the IRS to say, "Oh, I see you took money out. Validate you didn't touch your principal, your earnings"? No, but they don't care because you didn't take any deductions. You got no front-end benefit. You got no back-end benefit. You have access to your contributions on a Roth contributory IRA, not a conversion. Conversions are different. A contributory IRA whenever you want. So if you need $5,000 out and your account is worth $7,500, guess how much you have access to? $5,000. You leave this $2,500 alone. In fact, it's even better than that. The IRS looks at it as FIFO, first in, first out. What that simply means is the IRS says you have an account value of $7,500, of which $5,000 is contributions, $2,500 is earnings. When you take $5,000 out, we will assume is coming from your contributions. First in, that's your contributions. First out, your contributions. It's wonderful. So you say, okay, you should keep a record of how much you put in. Absolutely. I got $118,000 in my Roth, of which my contributions are $93,500. You should do that in case you ever need to validate how much you pulled out, but that's not taxed. It's crazy not to, but a lot of people don't. But you should. You say, look, I put in X amount of dollars in my Roth. That X amount of dollars is worth this now. That means I have access to X amount of dollars without no muss, no fuss. Just pure, straight distributions from your Roth IRA. Now, this money right here, again, cannot be touched until you're 59 and a half and have had the account open for 5 years, which is another reason to open this doggone thing right now. But that would be a different one. But that cannot be touched, all right? So we'll do that part 2 about the benefits to open the Roth IRA now, and I'll do that here in just a second. So remember, contributions are always accessible for whatever reason. You want to go freaking blow white powder up your nose, go crazy. I'm literally saying that facetiously, folks. Do not take me literally there. All right, you can do whatever you want. That's what I'm going with this. Whatever you want. That $5,000 is yours for the taking. I hope you don't touch it because, again, that $5,000 is giving you growth, and that growth can grow tax-free as long as you don't touch that. We'll talk about the 5-year rule in a second. Conversions, on the other hand, when I do a Roth conversion, it is different. A Roth conversion is I have $20,000 in my traditional IRA. I convert it to my Roth IRA today. And I have to pay tax on that $20,000. Can I tap into that tax-free? No. You got to wait 5 years. So we'll talk about the 5-year rule here next in just a second. See if I want to add. All right. So now, just real quick. Now I add another $5,000. The following year. So now I have $10,000 in here. That's what I want. Actually, I did want to talk about this. All right. So I put $10,000 in. Unfortunately, the account has dropped, so it's only worth $8,000 out. Now, I haven't taken anything out, so just, we'll actually go ahead and erase that. So now I got $10,000 is my cost basis. All right, so $10,000 is what I started with, and now it's worth $8,000 because it's dropped in value by 20%. How much can I take out of the account tax-free? The whole thing! The whole thing is yours. because you have no earnings. You made nothing. All right, remember, the penalty and taxes are only on the earnings. Well, we have no earnings. We put $10,000 in. We only have $8,000 as the account value. That means the whole thing can come out tax-free. Hope that makes sense. Rule number one, why you want to open a Roth, because you have access to your contributions at any time for any reason. Stay tuned. We'll do rule number 2 here in just a second, the 5-year rule, which will be a wide open Roth part 2. So I'll see you next time. Don't forget, subscribe down below, thumbs up, comments. If you find value out of this, and it gives you $5 or $1 million of value, you want to contribute to old Josh, go to the website, heritagewealthplanning.com. At the very bottom of every single page, there'll be a thing that says donate, and be my pleasure to accept your donation. So I'd appreciate it if you did that. You don't have to. Watching these videos alone help me with the YouTube algorithm, which helps me sell advertisement essentially to people who want to pay. So whatever you want to do, I don't care, but I appreciate you being here nonetheless, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.